Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai, divine honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Yahweh Shemel Shai Barakatham to the hopefully elect. And this is just going to be a real quick, basic, and because I was watching this this Quad Summit meeting, which Joe Biden, he was the host of it, because you gotta be, when these different leaders, these world leaders, when they come together to discuss certain things or whatever the case may be, right away your spiritual antennas should start spiking, so to say. I'll say, like, your spidey senses should start kicking in, because whenever these different world leaders come together and to discuss these whatever it is that they push on the forefront, all right? Because of course, when these leaders come together, of course, there's always they're always going to push a narrative on the forefront to the people. But again, we know, or we ought to know, we should know that behind closed doors, man, like the scriptures say, they devise mischief, man. Because these devils are plotting, man. So again, just touching on this Quad Summit meeting. I was watching some of Joe Biden's speech. What he was going into. And of course, like I said, they're gonna, push a certain narrative, on the forefront to basically deceive the people, but again, because when you look into it, it's no coincidence, because again, these different leaders, they come together and discuss certain things that's going on globally, and when you look at Joe Biden and what he was going into, he was tackling certain things like the situation in Afghanistan. They talk about climate change and the climate crisis and stuff like that. But one of the things that Joe Biden, he was mentioning, one of his things is one of his memos is being the fact that dealing with the Vanessa, all right. And how, we all gotta come together, because if you know Joe Biden, if you know his political history, all right, if you know his politics and what he's about, he's basically a globalist, all right. So when it comes to things like the UN, right? Let's just say, they dispatched the UN as the world's, which technically, well, because NATO is actually the military. It's the military structure for the beast, so to say. But let's just say they were to dispatch the UN. Let's just say all hell is breaking loose around the world, and they dispatch the UN to, basically, because that's pretty much what, or I'll say that's what they, again, the forefront, all right, what they tell the people that the UN is for, the peacekeepers and whatnot, so let's say, again, all hell is breaking loose throughout the world, which it is. And it's just chaos everywhere, and they dispatch the UN troops throughout these different countries and whatnot to establish peace, to bring order and whatnot. You see, guys like Joe Biden, he's with it. He's because like I said, he's a globalist. If you look into his political history, he's for stuff like that. The world coming together, so on and so forth. Because when it comes to the whole NWO, all right, when it comes to the whole enterprise of the elites. Again, Biden, he's with it, he's for it. So again, dealing with one of the issues Biden is trying to tackle within this gathering, all right, this summit, this meeting with these different world leaders is pushing the Vanessa, all right, and getting the Vanessa shots to basically worldwide. This is what Biden, one of the things that he's pushing for, all right, increasing supplies worldwide, all right. I said globalist, but I think the word that I meant to say was a nationalist. If it's not the same thing, if it's not the same thing, but because like I said, he believes in things like the UN, and he believes in a one world government type deal. He believes in that. He's with it. So again, the fact that he's trying to tackle this whole thing with the Vanessa, it's just rather interesting because with all the division that's going on here in America, right? Because of course, you got red states against blue states. The Vanessa against the unvanessa, right? All type of division going on with that. All right. They were talking about and the FDA didn't approve it. The fact that they want to get booster shots to the general the general public. The general public. The FDA disapproved it. They disapproved it. All right. So, it's just funny that again, being the fact that with all this, Biden's getting a lot of kickback with the Vanessa, the whole Vanessa. All right, the FDA didn't approve. The FDA didn't approve the booster shots for the general public. All right. And again, it's no coincidence that now they're talking about, because I got a bunch of videos queued up on it dealing with this, because, hey, we've said it, all right, starting from the elders, man, we've said it. We called it out, because, it's pretty clear. It was pretty obvious, You get to a point where, you get to know the enemy so well that you start calling him out on his playbook, so to say. And you see, ever since this whole pandemic started, man, again, there's a lot of things that have been called out on, and this is one of those things, right? Because now they're talking about, I'm not going to name the manufacturer or the company or whatever, right? But it starts with a P, ends with an R. All right. They're trying to, I think they're trying to get the FDA to approve that for basically kids. Because like I said, start with the elders, man. We told you that, hey, they were going to come for the kids, man. They were going to come for the children. So now they're trying to get it to where the children can get this. I think it's from 5 years old to 11 years old or 12 years old or something like that, right? And basically, again, and now they're pushing the narrative of getting the kids to take this Vanessa. So you see, all these things, man, it's not, it's not a coincidence. And what did Biden recently say, man? He said that, hey, patience is running thin, and hey, because hey, what does the scripture say? The devil knows that he has but a short time. So with all that being said, again, all these different leaders coming together to discuss these certain things. All right. Again, one of the things Biden is talking about is global of the Vanessa for the entire world, man. Getting the whole world Vanessa to take this Vanessa. That's one of his things. Because again, he's a nationalist. He's a globalist. All right. So again, behind closed doors, because again, they're going to tell you these things in the forefront. Oh, we're going to tackle, we're going to discuss these things. They're going to tell you that in the forefront, but behind closed doors, all right, we know that, hey, they're devising mischief, man, and they're devising ways. They come together to discuss these wicked schemes and these plans, right? So I'm going to just go through a few basic precepts, man. Like I said, I think this one, before I get this, there's one in Psalm, because he mentioned something about targeting minority communities, because at the end of the day, man, the plot and the goal is to target you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, man. Here it is. Jake is still walking around thinking that, the Esau is all buddy. They forget slavery, But here it is, man. In his heart, man, it's war, man. And in his heart, he's devising on how to destroy you. This is what Jake does not understand. And this is what goes on behind these different meetings or whatnot. That's why I said, man, when you read about these summit meetings, these quad meetings, these different meetings where these world leaders come together, guess who's not invited to the table? You Jakes. All right? Because again, you are the target. We are the targets. So I'm going to get this to Psalm 34 and actually not chapter 34. That's 37. I was going to say 37. 37 and 4, not 34 and 7. So Psalm 37. Just seeing what I can start, because really the whole chapter is good. Because I'm just saying this, I'm just speculating this, after this, with the whole meeting or whatnot. I'm just saying this as a man, you can expect certain things to happen. You can expect more draconian laws, more draconian measures, because again, this thing is about being pushed out the world, when it comes to Revelation 13, all right, and the beast, like it talks about how the beast deceiving the world, all right, so this is a global push, man. This is a thing on how to get the world into this web of things, get the whole world trapped up. So I'm going to read this in Psalm 37, and I'll read verse 12. It says, "The wicked plotteth against the just." And who's the just? All right, the righteous. Slack you. Who's the just? Let's talk about the Israelites. All right. Because in every movie you have the good, you have the evil. All right. And you see this movie of the Lord. All right. The good guys, so to say, the just, the righteous are the Israelites. And the wicked, those created to play the wicked, the Job 9:24 is you read it in Malachi, the first chapter. All right. What is that? First Maccabees talks. It tells you when those Job 9:24s came into power. All right, wickedness, increased in the earth. So these people, they were created to play the earth, to play the wicked, to play the bad guy, so to say. All right. So the wicked plot against the just, and you see that's what they do when they come to these different meetings. All right. Because again, the plot is to destroy you, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians all together. It says, because in reality, Esau, he's trying to get his birthright back, man. He's trying to do everything in his power to get the birthright back, because everything that we're gonna get, everything that we're gonna obtain, all right. You see, this is why Esau hates Jake so much, all right. Because we got the blessing and he doesn't. He's not getting it. So this is why they're trying to do away with all the ordinances, because the Lord said in the book of Jeremiah, if I'm not mistaken, it talks about how if you could do away with the sun, the stars, the moon, so on and so forth, then hey, that'll be the day that the Lord would do away with his people altogether. You see, and this is why Esau, he spends all type of resources. He tries to do exactly that, man. He tries to do away with the ordinances, right? Because again, in reality, he's trying to get his birth. He's trying to get the birthright back, which wasn't his in the first place. Um, Reading on, it says, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth, and the teeth going into his military. You know, basically his power structure, his blessing, which is the sword. All right, by way of violence. And you see, like I said, after this event, in my humble opinion, expect things to ramp up even more. Expect something to happen even more, because now they're talking about, new variants. Because Esau, man, he's going to do something. Like I've been saying over the weeks, man. Something's going to happen to where it's going to change things on a very dramatic level. All right, and that's a part of his plotting. All right, because again, hey, Biden, he's been getting a lot of kickback. All right, dealing with his mandates and whatnot. Been getting a lot of kickback. I saw where Biden, they were talking about how Biden, he's going to come together with these different CEOs of these different businesses and whatnot to discuss these mandates. And I've been watching out for that, just paying attention to that, see how that pans out. But again, being that there's been a lot of kickback here in America, so now it's almost like he's taking the next step, right? Going to, because I believe there's like over 100 of these different prime leaders and the heads of these different nations or whatnot, coming together or whatnot. So it's almost like Biden, he's upping the ante now. He's taking it, a step further and pushing this agenda. All right, because again, he was discussing dealing with the Vanessa and how to give supplies to the countries that don't really have access to the Vanessas, and just a worldwide agenda is what he's pushing. But nevertheless, it's all a part of his plots. It's all a part of his schemes. All right. And this is why when you read in that same chapter, Psalm 37, it talks about waiting on the Lord, man, putting our trust in the Lord, because, hey, when they make their moves, man, brothers been saying it time in and time out. Get ready, get comfortable with getting uncomfortable, because life for all of us is about to change drastically. So going to Psalm 82, let's see where I could start. Oh, I'm sorry, not Psalm 82. Psalm 83. Slakia. Psalm 83 in verse 1, it says, keep not thou silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. And this is what they do when they come together with these different meetings. All right, they discuss these things, man. How to keep you Israelites, because when the nation of Israel is down, all the nations benefit. All right, all the nations benefit off of our downfall. So, again, best believe they come together and they discuss these ways on how to keep us in a state of where we are disconnected from our power. And that's why I said, when they come together with these different meetings, you're not invited. Jake is not invited. It says, for they have, verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So you see, all right, it's nothing for your good, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. They consult against Yahweh Shema Shai and the people of Yahweh Shema Shai, man. And you see, this is why the scriptures, man, the scriptures talk about how the Lord, man, he's just sitting back laughing at these devils, man, laughing at these heathens. Because best believe, the angels are right there, man. When it comes to these secret councils, man, they think they're getting away with it and whatnot, but the Lord, man, the Lord has the angels right there, man, and they're reporting everything, and the Lord's just laughing at these devils, man. But I I'm gonna read Psalm 64. It says, "Hear my voice, O Most High, my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity." So you see, the secret counsels of these wicked heathens, man. Esau, Edom being at the forefront of that. All right. You see, man, because hey, these other nations, they, you know, they put it like this. The international bankers, man, they give they give these other nations, man, a little piece of the pie. They get on board and whatnot. Because America, being the spearhead. All right, Babylon the Great being the spearhead. All right, America, being set up to push this way of life, this lifestyle around the world. All right, a lot of these countries have adopted the ways of Babylon the Great, right? Because there was a point in time, like over there in the Middle East, man. Hey, man, them women, certain parts of the Middle East, which a lot of them still practice this culture, which is really our culture, but a lot of those women over there in the Middle East, man, there was a point in time where they were covered up, right? Basically civilized, man, and in order to an extent. But now a lot of those women over there are being put to death for being harlots, dressing all provocative, wearing jeans. You got women over there driving now, and you see this is why over there in Afghanistan, hey, they're basically ever since America withdrew those troops, man, hey, those Talibans, man, they're putting them women back in place. They're putting those women back in order. They're not allowing women to be involved in sports. They're not allowing women to get education, right? A lot of those women are getting snatched up and forced into marriages. Those women are being put back in their place, man. Those Talibans are establishing order back over there. You see, because again, this is one of many examples of how these nations, man, they have adapted the ways of Babylon the Great. All right, and because again, Esau, he's at the top of that the chain right now, and again, America being their spearhead. But you see, America has served her purpose. It served its use. So there's really no use for America anymore. America's been played out. You see, if you're paying attention, man, China's, hey, America's basically trying to keep up with China. They're already talking about 6G now. 6G technology, and all type of advancements, technological advancements over there. And America's trying to keep up because America's played out. She served her purpose, and there's really no use for America anymore. But verse 2 again, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Because the scriptures say, man, hey, they go to bed plotting wickedness, they wake up plotting wickedness, man. That's all they do, man. And how to establish this NWO, this one world, thing, right? Verse 3 says, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. And who's the perfect? Well, let me go to Lamentation 2:15, just a quick precept, man. Because again, their plot is against you Israelites, right? Lamentation 2:15, it says, all that pass by clap their hands at thee. They hiss and wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, because we are likened unto a woman. All right. It says, saying, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth? So again, read that part again. It says, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty? So again, who's the perfect more so? It's talking about you Israelites. So when you go back to Psalm 64 and 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. So again, the plot is against you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right. You see, because they were really more so, like I said, this is a global thing, but um, they were talking about more so with these not in this specific meeting, but I forgot where I was watching this from, getting these Vanessas out more so to Western, basically to over here in the West side, the Americas, Northern, Central, and Southern Americas, all right, which contains mostly Jakes. Jake's mostly over here, which again, Jake's around the world, scattered around the world, but over here in the West, right, getting these Vanessas over here to the West, the Americas, where Jake is at, like I said. But to finish the verse, it says, "Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not," because again, when I mentioned in Psalm 37, all right, hey, we put our trust in Yahweh Shema Shai. We gotta wait on Yahweh Shema Shai, because eventually, when they make the move, the Lord is going to exalt the right hand. All right, and this is when that standard is going to be lifted. All right, it says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of lying snares privately. They say, "Who shall see them?" So you see, because again, they think they're doing all this in secret and whatnot. But like I said, the angels are right there recording all their moves. Everything that they're saying, everything that they're thinking. All right, and this is being reported back to the Heavenly Father, and the Lord is laughing at these devils, man. It says they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. So you see, man, hey, like I said, there's no coincidence dealing with now they're coming for the children. Hey, I mentioned this before, man, with the, expect a lot of enchantments, especially around October, that wicked holiday on the left hand called Halloween, hey, a lot of rituals going to be taking place, sacrifices, so yeah, man, like I said, because, you got to be mindful of when they talk about these, when these different world leaders come together, because like I said, Joe Biden, he's getting a lot of kickback here in the States, so now he's up in the ante, he's stepping up and taking it to that level where now they're going to the UN to discuss these things. He's just discussing these things at the UN, this global push for the Vanessa worldwide, which we should know by now that dealing with the Vanessa, it's going to pave way for Revelation 13, 16, and 17. In some way, shape, form, or fashion, it's going to pave way to that. All right? And we know it is. We knew it was, because when we talk about Revelation 13, 16, and 17 in certain videos, has nothing to do with medical misinformation or medical information. All right? Yet they'll label a video, they strike the video as medical misinformation. So that's how we know that somehow the Vanessa is going to tie into the Revelation 13, 16, and 17, that major prophecy, man. And like I said, my humble opinion, after this, man, expect things to ramp up even more, because again, the devil knows that he has but a short time. All right. He knows that he has but a short time. So again, keep your eyes peeled, man. Expect things to ramp up even more. All right. And hey, sit back, man, buckle up, because hey, we're in for one hell of a ride, man. All of us, man. And again, to the sincere believers, may Yahweh Shema Shai protect, preserve his elect, man, which we're striving to be a part of that number, because it's going to get bad out here, man. It's going to get real ugly out here real soon. So with that, I'm giving all praises to Yahweh Shema Shai, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Yahweh Shema Shai, Barakathum, to the hopefully elect. Lord's willing, until next time, Shalom.